What are you talking about? Stop playing. Stop playing. Stop playing. No. Get off me. Let go of me. Let go of me.
Wait, what? Kirk really tried.
Wait, hold up. Kirk actually tried to take out Mendeecees on the road? This isn't just some messy reality TV drama. Nah, this is next-level attempted murder type stuff, and the streets are going wild right now. Sources are dropping some explosive information. And it seems Kirk Frost allegedly planned to handle Mendeecees during what was supposed to be a normal drive. But guess what? Messi survived, and now the truth is slowly coming to light. So now the real question is, why would Kirk go this far? What did Mendeecees do to make Kirk snap like that? And most importantly, who leaked this jaw-dropping information? Was it someone within their circle? A friend turned foe? Or could it be that Mendeecees himself is trying to get ahead of this scandal before it blows up even further? One thing is certain. This isn't just gossip. This is a full-blown conspiracy, and we've got all the tea, betrayals, life-threatening setups, you name it. This scandal is as messy as it gets, and we're breaking it all down for you. Get ready, because this is about to get crazy. Mendeecees was just cruising down an empty road, totally unaware that danger was lurking nearby. He thought it was just another regular drive, a chance to clear his mind amidst all the chaos around him. But little did he know, someone else had a completely different plan for how that drive was supposed to end, and that someone was none other than Kirk. Yes, you heard right. The same Kirk who's been throwing shade at Mendeecees for a while now, the one who's been plotting behind the scenes, might have just crossed the line into something much darker. And now the streets are buzzing, asking, was this all a setup? Sources close to the situation are revealing all kinds of details, and things are getting messier by the minute. Word on the street is that Kirk had been planning something shady for weeks. There were heated conversations, threats thrown around, and maybe even some "I'll handle this my way" vibes from Kirk. Then suddenly, the mysterious road incident happens, leaving Mendeecees shaken but alive. Was this just a coincidence, or was it a well-thought-out plan that went wrong? Now, let's talk about the timing, because it's looking pretty suspicious. Just days before this so-called accident, Kirk and Mendeecees had a huge argument. And we're not talking about a small disagreement. This was one of those, if I see you in the streets, it's on types of beefs. They'd already been clashing over past drama involving Yandi, but things took a darker turn when Kirk allegedly made some serious threats. Insiders claim Kirk was saying things like Mendeecees had to be dealt with and that he wasn't going to let this slide. Normally people talk big when they're angry, but after what just went down, people are starting to wonder if Kirk meant every word he said. And let's not forget, Kirk has a history of holding grudges. This isn't the first time he's had issues with Mendeecees, and it definitely isn't the first time he's been caught doing something shady. Just last year, there were rumors swirling about Kirk was reportedly involved in some behind-the-scenes, scheming to bring Mendeecees down, whether that meant ruining his reputation or sabotaging his business moves. But now, things seem to have gone far beyond just words. Multiple sources are claiming that Kirk had some associates keeping an eye on Mendeecees' every move. The streets are buzzing, and if these rumors are true, the whole situation was planned out down to the last detail. Some are even suggesting that Kirk knew exactly where Mendeecees would be driving that night, and that the so-called accident was actually a failed attempt at something far more sinister. The details are shocking, and it's hard to ignore how methodical everything seems. Think about it. Mendeecees is driving down a quiet road minding his business, when out of nowhere an unexpected obstacle appears. Something doesn't add up. The timing, the threats, the past history between these two, it's too much to overlook. And let's dive into what happened after the incident, because that's when things get even more suspicious. Kirk has been unusually quiet. No statements, no public appearances, just complete silence. Now, we all know Kirk isn't the type to keep quiet when drama hits, so why is he suddenly so low-key? Is he trying to dodge questions, hoping everything blows over before people start piecing things together? Because let's be real, If someone accused you of something like this, wouldn't you be speaking out about how innocent you are? Meanwhile, Macy hasn't said much either, but sources close to him say he's fully convinced this wasn't some random accident. Allegedly, he told his people, "I know what's going on. This was a setup." And if that's what he believes, he's definitely going to start looking for answers because, let's face it, if someone truly tried to take him out, he's not going to let that slide. And let's not forget the witnesses. Yeah, there were people who saw what went down that night. From what they're saying, this wasn't just a case of bad luck. Allegedly, there was another car involved, one that had been following Macy for quite some time before things went south. And get this, the driver of that car? They vanished from the scene before the authorities even arrived. Now, why would someone just leave like that unless they had something to hide? Here's where things take an even crazier turn. Some people are suggesting that Kirk wasn't just behind the setup. He might have actually been on that road himself, making sure everything went according to plan. A source who claims to have been near the scene says they saw a car that looked strikingly familiar to Kirk's parked on the side of the road just before things went sideways. Now, let's break this down. If Kirk really was there that night, watching everything unfold, then this wasn't just some tough talk or wishful thinking. This was premeditated. Someone wanted Macy off that road, and they needed it to appear as an accident. And let's not pretend that Kirk hasn't been acting suspicious for a while now. This is the same guy who's been called out for shady business practices, the one who's had drama follow him for years, and the one who always seems to have an explanation for why things go wrong when he's around. But this situation? This is on a whole new level. While Kirk is hiding from questions, Macy is preparing for whatever comes next. Allegedly, he's been in talks with some major players in the industry, trying to figure out exactly what happened that night. And trust me, if he uncovers that Kirk was involved, it's going to spark a full-blown war. But here's the real twist. There are already whispers that Mendeecees is planning his own revenge. Yep, you heard that right. If Kirk thought he could get away with this and walk off like nothing happened, he might want to rethink things. Because if Macy gets proof, things are about to get ugly. Now, the streets are buzzing, waiting for the next move. Will Macy strike back? Will Kirk finally break his silence? Or is this just the start of a much bigger plot we haven't seen coming? One thing is certain, this isn't over, not by a long shot. The tension is thick, the stakes are high, and everyone's watching to see what happens next. But if you think this situation is messy, oh, just wait for what's coming next. Let's set the record straight. Macy isn't the type to let something like this slide. If Kirk really thought he could pull this off, leave Macy shaken, and walk away like nothing happened, he clearly doesn't know who he's dealing with. Macy is already making moves behind the scenes, and if the rumors are true, Kirk may have just made the biggest mistake of his life. Word around town is that Macy's been making some serious calls, not just to his usual circle, but to people with real influence. Allegedly, he's reaching out to industry insiders, legal experts, and even a few folks with some, let's say, questionable connections. If Macy truly believes Kirk tried to take him out, you better believe he's not going to let it slide. Here's where things get even messier. While Macy is out there plotting his next move, Kirk is busy trying to clean up the mess. Yep. Now that people are starting to put the pieces together, Kirk is suddenly popping up, trying to act like he has nothing to do with any of this. First, he went silent, but now he's out here playing the "y'all are reaching" card, acting like the whole thing is just a crazy coincidence. But the receipts aren't in his favor. Just as people started questioning him, some leaked messages surfaced online. If these messages are real, they tell a very different story. Allegedly, there are screenshots of Kirk talking to someone just days before the accident, saying things like, "That dude thinks he's untouchable. He's gotten too comfortable." And in another message, "Bet. Money's on the line. And trust me, Kirk won't see this coming." Now, I don't know about you, but that sure sounds like someone is planning something, right? And let's not forget, this isn't the first time Kirk's been caught saying shady things. The man has a history of throwing stones and then hiding his hands. But this time, this seems way too specific to just be a random conversation. And guess what else? Mendeecees' team isn't playing around. Sources close to him are saying he's about to launch his own investigation. Yep, you heard right. Mendeecees putting his people to work, digging through phone records, surveillance footage, everything. He wants to find out exactly who's involved and how deep this goes. Now, let's talk about who else could be involved. Because trust me, this might not just be a solo operation. There's talk that Kirk might not have been working alone, that others were helping him out. And when I say the names being whispered are shocking, I mean shocking. Some sources are claiming Kirk might have even gotten help from within Mendeecees' own circle. Just imagine that, thinking you're safe, trusting those around you, only to discover someone close to you may have played a role in trying to set you up. That's betrayal on a whole different level. And we all know, money talks. If Kirk really wanted this to go down, he probably had to pay people off to ensure it went smoothly. But something went wrong. Because instead of Mendeecees being taken out, he survived. Now, Kirk's got a serious problem on his hands. When a plan fails, loose ends start to unravel. And right now, there's talk that someone involved in this plot might be ready to flip. Yep. Word is, there's already someone who's feeling the heat and might start talking to save themselves. If that happens, it's game over for Kirk. The second one person starts spilling, the whole house of cards comes crashing down. And trust me, Kirk knows this. That's why he's been moving different, low-key, nervous, and constantly looking over his shoulder. Want the next update on this? Mess before anyone else? Make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because you won't want to miss what happens next. This story is about to take an even crazier turn, and when it does, we'll be right here breaking it all down. See you in the next one. Stay tuned.